Many people quietly struggle with waking up multiple times at night just to use the bathroom. Over time, they're told it's normal, that it's simply age, a weak bladder, or something they must accept. But that explanation is incomplete. Your body still has a remarkable ability to support calm, uninterrupted sleep well into later life. One of the simplest ways to unlock that ability is not a pill or device, but a very intentional habit built around a specific time in the evening. In this video, you're going to learn how a small, simple drink taken at exactly the right hour can help retrain your bladder, support kidney rhythm, and reduce those exhausting nighttime bathroom trips. This isn't about miracles or shortcuts. It's about understanding how your body learns patterns, how your habits quietly program your kidneys and bladder, and how you can gently shift that programming back in your favor. By the end, you'll know exactly what to drink, how much to drink, why timing matters so much, and how this one habit fits into a broader natural strategy for better sleep and better urinary health as you age. Let's start with what your nights may look like right now. You fall asleep without much trouble, but sometime after midnight, you feel the urge to go. You walk to the bathroom, pass a small amount of urine, return to bed, and now your mind feels alert. Eventually, you drift off again, only to wake once more a few hours later. By morning, you're technically rested, but not restored. Your body feels heavy, your thinking feels slower, and your patience is thinner than it used to be. Many people say they don't feel old because of their age. They feel old because they're tired. That constant fatigue is one of the most underestimated consequences of nighttime urination. Often the first explanation offered is prostate changes for men or bladder weakness for women. Those factors can matter and should be evaluated when needed, but they are not the whole story. There is another factor that is practical, powerful, and frequently overlooked: the timing and type of fluids you drink throughout the day. It's not just how much you drink, it's when and what. When most of your fluid intake happens late in the afternoon and evening, you are unintentionally scheduling your kidneys to work during the night. They don't resist this. They simply respond. And your bladder receives that workload precisely when your body should be resting. This is where the concept of the 6 p.m. reset drink comes in. Think of 6 p.m. as a gentle dividing line between your daytime hydration phase and your nighttime protection phase. Before this time, your goal is steady, adequate hydration spread throughout the day. Around 6 p.m., you take one final structured drink. This sends your body a clear signal that the main fluid intake window is closing. After that, you shift to minimal, mindful sips only if your mouth truly feels dry. Instead of letting your drinking pattern be random, you turn it into a rhythm. Over time, your kidneys and bladder learn that rhythm and adapt to it. Urine production gradually shifts earlier in the evening instead of the middle of the night. So what exactly is this 6 p.m. drink? It isn't complicated or trendy. It's a single, moderate glass of calm, non-irritating fluid. For most people, the best option is plain, still water at room temperature. If you prefer light flavor, a thin slice of lemon, cucumber, or a sprig of mint is fine, but without sugar, honey, artificial sweeteners, or caffeine. Another option is a very mild, truly caffeine-free herbal infusion, such as chamomile or rooibos. These should be prepared gently and consumed without sweeteners. The drink should feel neutral, soothing, and easy on both the stomach and bladder. Just as important as what this drink is what it is not. It is not coffee, black tea, green tea, energy drinks, or cola. Even small amounts of caffeine can increase urine production and irritate the bladder lining. It is not alcohol, which fragments sleep, dehydrates the body, and often increases nighttime urination hours later. It is not fruit juice or sweetened herbal drinks, as sugar and acidity can stimulate urgency. For some people, it is also not sparkling water, since carbonation can trigger bladder sensitivity. The power of this drink lies in its simplicity. It is quiet hydration that your body can process calmly. Now let's address the most common question. Why 6 p.m.? Why not later? The answer lies in how your kidneys respond to your internal clock. Your body follows a daily rhythm guided by hormones that shift over 24 hours. At night, under healthy conditions, your brain releases more of a hormone that tells your kidneys to conserve water and reduce urine production so you can sleep. As we age, this hormone signal weakens slightly. That doesn't mean it disappears. It means it needs support. When you drink large amounts of fluid late in the evening, you override that signal. Your kidneys stay active when they should be slowing down. But when your last structured drink happens around 6 p.m., your body has enough time to process it before bedtime. By the time you're asleep, urine production naturally tapers instead of peaking. This simple timing shift often makes the difference between waking once or not at all. This habit works best when combined with a few supportive behaviors. Aim to hydrate consistently earlier in the day so you're not overly thirsty in the evening. Limit salty or very watery foods late at night. Empty your bladder before bed and again just before turning off the lights. If you wake at night, avoid drinking out of habit. Small sips are fine if your mouth is dry, but full glasses restart the cycle. Within several days, many people notice fewer awakenings. Within a few weeks, the bladder often becomes calmer and more predictable at night. This isn't forcing your body, it's retraining it. Your body wants to sleep. It wants to rest. Sometimes it just needs clearer signals. If this approach feels simple, that's because it is. And simple habits, when done consistently, are often the most powerful. Try the 6 p.m. reset drink for the next 7 nights and notice what changes. Fewer trips, longer stretches of sleep, a calmer night. And if this information helped you see nighttime urination differently, share it with someone who might be struggling silently. Better sleep changes everything. As we get older, the body's fluid regulating system may become less efficient, but it does not disappear. It still responds to patterns and routines. When large amounts of liquid are consumed between dinner and bedtime, the kidneys are faced with sheer volume. Regardless of hormones or age, they must process that fluid. The excess is sent directly to the bladder, often during the hours when your body is meant to be resting. As the bladder fills, its walls stretch and sensitive nerves send signals to the brain. The message is simple and urgent. Wake up and empty. By placing your last structured drink around 6 o'clock p.m., you give your body several hours while you are still awake and moving to distribute, filter, and release much of that fluid. When intake is limited afterward, the total workload placed on your kidneys during the night drops significantly. Over days and weeks, the body begins to remember that nighttime is for rest again. One of the first improvements many people notice after adopting this routine is a gradual reduction in nighttime bathroom trips. The change is rarely dramatic overnight. Someone who used to wake 4 times may notice it drop to 3, then 2. Another person might go from 2 awakenings to 1, or occasionally sleep all the way through until morning. This improvement doesn't come from forcing the bladder to hold more than it should. It comes from reducing how much urine is being produced at night in the first place. You're adjusting the workload, not increasing strain. A second benefit shows up in the quality of sleep itself. Every trip to the bathroom pulls the brain out of sleep, forces it to orient, and then requires it to settle back down again. That repeated disruption robs you of deeper sleep stages, the phases responsible for memory consolidation, emotional balance, and clearing metabolic waste from the brain. When nighttime interruptions decrease, sleep becomes more continuous. People often report fewer morning headaches, less brain fog, and a steadier mood throughout the day. They feel more patient with loved ones, more focused when reading or working, and more willing to stay physically active. A third benefit relates to circulation and cardiovascular stability. Many older adults take medications that influence fluid balance or blood pressure. When heavy evening drinking is layered on top of those medications, the body experiences unnecessary volume shifts at night. This can contribute to blood pressure fluctuations, nighttime dizziness, or unsteadiness when standing in the dark. By shifting most hydration earlier in the day and using the 6 p.m. drink as a gentle closing signal, the circulatory system is allowed to remain calmer and more stable overnight. This can reduce the risk of lightheadedness and make nighttime awakenings, if they do occur, feel safer and less disruptive. The fourth benefit is subtle but extremely important. It involves retraining the bladder's sense of urgency. A bladder that is emptied frequently, even when it is not very full, becomes overly sensitive. It starts sending alarm signals at smaller volumes. Over time, this creates the feeling of a weak or unreliable bladder, when in reality, the bladder is simply responding to learned habits. With less fluid arriving at night, the bladder spends those hours in a calmer state, filling more slowly and quietly. As this pattern stabilizes, many people notice improvements during the day as well. Urgency feels less intense. Trips to the bathroom feel less rushed. Confidence gradually returns. To show how this works in real life, let's look at two common patterns. The first involves a retired engineer in his early 70s who was waking 5 times a night and believed invasive treatment was inevitable. When his daily routine was examined, it became clear that he barely drank in the morning or early afternoon. Most of his hydration happened in the evening, including several large glasses of water and strong tea after dinner. His kidneys were simply responding to the schedule he had unknowingly set. The solution wasn't drastic. Hydration was redistributed across the day, with regular glasses in the morning, mid-morning, lunchtime, and mid-afternoon. At 6 p.m., he added 1 calm glass of water, followed by only small sips if truly needed. Strong evening tea was replaced with a mild herbal option taken earlier. Within several weeks, his nighttime awakenings dropped from 5 to 2 or 3, with occasional nights of even better sleep. Nothing about his anatomy had suddenly changed. What changed was timing. His kidneys and bladder were no longer being overwhelmed at the wrong hour. The second pattern involved a grandmother in her mid-60s whose greatest fear wasn't just waking to urinate, but falling in the dark. She drank moderately during the day, but sipped fruit juice throughout the evening, and often ended the night with a small glass of wine. Her bladder was constantly being stimulated late into the night. For her, the 6 p.m. drink became an evening anchor. A single glass of water with a slice of cucumber marked the end of structured drinking. After that, she switched to a small caffeine-free herbal tea finished early in the evening, followed only by sips if needed. Over the next month, nighttime urgency softened, volumes decreased, and awakenings became less frequent. With better sleep and a simple nightlight in the hallway, her fear of falling diminished and her confidence returned. One sentence she shared captured the experience many people have. She said she thought her bladder was the problem, when in reality, her habits had been confusing it. When behavior aligns with how the body is designed to function, that sense of conflict begins to dissolve. Your body isn't working against you. It's responding to the signals it's been given. And those signals can be changed gently, safely, and naturally. The third story involves a couple in their early 70s who were both struggling with broken sleep. One had mild prostate-related symptoms. The other described having a sensitive bladder. They were waking multiple times each night, often at different hours, unintentionally disturbing each other. When their evening routine was examined, one shared habit stood out. Every night at around 8 o'clock, they sat together with a pot of black tea. To them, it felt like a calming ritual and a moment of connection. In reality, it was stimulating their bladders at the worst possible time. Rather than eliminating their evening togetherness, the goal became transforming it. Their new shared ritual moved earlier. Around 6 in the evening, they began preparing 2 simple glasses of still water with a slice of lemon. They sat together for a few quiet minutes without television or phones and talked about their day. After that, liquids stayed light and caffeine-free. At their follow-up, they reported fewer nighttime awakenings, but they also noticed something unexpected. That small daily ceremony had deepened their sense of connection. They felt they were actively caring for both their health and their relationship. Sometimes the most powerful change isn't only physical relief, but the feeling that you are participating in your own well-being. That said, it's important to talk honestly about precautions and exceptions. The 6 p.m. drink is a general framework, not a rigid rule that applies the same way to everyone. If you have conditions that require careful fluid management, such as heart failure, advanced kidney disease, uncontrolled blood sugar, or if you've been given specific fluid limits, any change in hydration should be adapted to your individual situation. For some people, reducing evening fluids too quickly can lead to dizziness or low blood pressure. For others, certain herbal drinks may not be suitable. This is why the 6 p.m. ritual should be seen as a flexible guide you can discuss with your healthcare provider, not a replacement for professional care. It's also essential to recognize warning signs that should never be managed at home with timing changes alone. Blood in the urine, burning pain with urination, a very weak stream, an inability to empty the bladder, sudden swelling in the legs, severe shortness of breath when lying down, or intense unexplained thirst are the signals that deserve prompt medical attention. The 6 p.m. drink helps correct patterns. It does not diagnose or cure underlying disease. If you're ready to try this approach, the best way to start is step by step. Begin by observing your current habits for 2 or 3 days without changing anything. Write down what you drink, how much, and when. Many people are surprised by how much fluid sneaks into the evening hours. Next, decide on your usual bedtime and choose a reset time about 3 to 4 hours before sleep. For many, that's around 6 in the evening. Then begin shifting more of your total daily fluid intake into the morning and early afternoon. A simple guideline is a glass with each meal and 1 or 2 between meals. As your reset time approaches, prepare your single evening drink. Pour a calm, non-stimulating beverage. Sit down, take a breath, and drink it slowly over several minutes. Let that moment signal that the main hydration of the day is complete. After this, don't forbid yourself water. Just keep any additional intake modest. A few sips if your mouth feels dry or after brushing your teeth is usually enough. Most importantly, give the pattern time. The body learns through repetition. Commit to at least 3 to 4 weeks before deciding how well it works. If you notice strong thirst in the evening, That's not a failure. It's feedback. It means your earlier hours need more attention. The goal is not to fight thirst at night, but to prevent it from building in the first place by hydrating earlier. As daytime intake improves, evening cravings often fade naturally. Another common question is whether an occasional evening drink is still possible. The more sensitive your bladder is, the more you'll benefit from keeping evening drinks rare and small. Even so, consistency most days matters more than perfection. Having a clear 6 p.m. ritual anchors your rhythm and gently moves your system in the right direction. If there is one sentence to remember from everything we've explored, it's this. When you drink the right thing at the right time, you stop fighting your body at night and start working with it. Your kidneys, bladder, heart, and brain all respond to rhythm. You are not at the mercy of age alone. Small, consistent choices can reshape how your nights feel. It is never too late to reclaim more peaceful sleep. Even after years of waking multiple times a night, the body still has the capacity to adapt. Later life can be a season of wiser habits, calmer routines, and a more cooperative relationship with your own health. A simple glass of water at 6 in the evening, chosen intentionally and followed by lighter intake afterward, can become a symbol of that new relationship. A quiet reminder that your comfort, rest, and vitality are worth a little planning and care. Thank you for spending this time with me. My purpose is to help you understand your body, question the myths that steal your rest, and discover practical, natural habits that support urinary health, better sleep, and lasting energy. If this message resonated with you, take a look at your own evening routine and ask yourself what signals you're sending your body. If you decide to try the 6 p.m. reset drink, pay attention to how your nights change over the coming weeks. And if you'd like more guidance like this, consider subscribing, sharing this video with someone who wakes up every night, and leaving a comment with your experience. Your story may be exactly what someone else needs to believe that better nights are still possible. Before you go, remember this. Waking up at night isn't your body failing you. It's your body communicating. When you understand the signals and make small, consistent changes, your sleep can improve more than you may expect. Try just one adjustment from today's video and give your body the chance to respond. If this helped you, please take a moment to like the video. It tells the platform to share this information with others who may be quietly struggling. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming videos where we uncover more hidden causes of poor sleep and simple ways to fix them. And if you have a question or want to share what you experienced after trying this, leave a comment below. Your story may help someone else sleep through the night again. Click the video on your screen to continue learning, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.